lost and don't know who to ask, just vibe to my music and listen to the podcast. Trust the process.
Greetings, good people. It is me, Rolo C, and welcome back to Rolo Runs the City podcast. I am your host, Rolo, and I am glad that you are here to join me for another episode of Rolo Runs the City podcast. Feel free to reach out to me at rolorunthecity.com. That is my website. You can actually hit me up at the contact, and it will send me an email, and I can reply back to you whenever available. Of course, I like to try to give me about 24 hours to get back to you, but I definitely will get back to you. And as well, you can feel free to hit me up on Twitter at Rolo Runs the City, as well as Instagram at Rolo Runs the City Music and at Rolo Runs the City Podcast. So without further ado, we are going to talk about the song "The Process." I do believe it was either in season 3 or season 4. I really can't remember. It was one of those 2 seasons where I actually talked about, about the process and about how, the results, they may differ, however they work out, but the process is always guaranteed on anything that we do. So this song, I've been sitting on this song for a little bit, but I decided to go ahead and, actually put it out. It's definitely a song that I felt had a strong message in reference to not shortcutting anything, not selling yourself short, and definitely not being in a situation where you're buying into other people's story about you. There's a lot of people that you would not believe how they project their own self-doubts onto you, even when you're doing what you're supposed to do. But this is the way I honestly feel. I honestly feel like if you're able to put in the work, do what needs to get done. A lot of times we think about how we try to be private with our stuff in reference to things that we're working on, but we're so excited and we want to let our friends know, our family know, and just basically the world know what we're doing. And you have a lot of people that have self-doubt, and unfortunately they'll try to project that self-doubt onto you, and that really stops a lot of people from actually progressing and proceeding with their process of bringing something great into the world, because of the fact that the vision is so limited amongst the people they love that they put that limitation on themselves. And it's horrible. Look, if anybody tells me, they want to go after it at any entity on what they want to do, and who am I to tell them no? Like, it's funny, right? So I got a quick story here. I got a cousin of mine. He lives out in Florida, young guy, he's in his early 30s. And, he wants to be a professional wrestler. And I truly am behind him 2,000%. Okay? Is he late in the game? Of course, because a lot of these guys, they train and they're, in their early 20s or even teens for that matter. But does that mean he should not pursue his dream? No. Get your butt in shape, do what you're supposed to do, put yourself in the right position so that way you can be successful and execute. Okay? I remember he DM'd me one time and tells me, yeah, I'm going to show you, man. I'm going to make it. For me, I'm like, dude, you're doing what you love. It brings you happiness. It's your passion. You guys are shooting, airing your stuff on YouTube. You guys are really putting a product together. What are you talking about? You're going to make it. Dude, you made it already. You know what I mean? You don't have to be in AEW or WWE or none of that stuff. All you have to do is commit on your dream, commit to it, and execute. You made it. Those who don't make it, quit. They gave up. They're done. They didn't make it. Okay? So, like, I run marathons. You know what I'm saying? And whether if I get in at 3 hours or 5 hours or even 6 hours for that matter, thank goodness I didn't get injured. And thank goodness I was able to see it through and I was able to finish. That's the only thing that matters. I'm not trying to come in first. I'm not trying to beat, Elliot Kipchoge's marathon record at hour and 59 minutes. Like, I'm not running 14 miles an hour straight for 26 miles. Like, I can't do that. And it's not that I'm saying that I can't, like, as in I'm being negative. I'm being pessimistic. I'm just a realist. I'm optimistic, but I'm also a realist. Okay? But at the same time, it's not about trying to be, the first one across the finish line. With a whole bunch of people amongst elite athletes, okay, that have been running since they were 3 or 4 years old, okay? But the whole point is we all have our personal challenges, and it's imperative that we do what we need to do to overcome those challenges because, like I said, you lose accountability with yourself when you don't see things through and you don't finish. So with that being said, I don't care if I show up in 6 hours and 20 minutes. I covered 26 miles. I didn't get injured. I was able to actually see it through. Thank goodness. I did it. So what I try to explain to my cousin is no matter what, you have to be very honest with yourself and say, hey, am I going to go all in? Let me go all in. And, I'm grateful for the fact that he wants to think outside the box, and he told me that he's heard a lot of negativity from people, on why he was doing what he was doing, like people that are very bitter and that he wasn't going to make it. And, and it's sad because it's normally the people that are closest to us that we really do care about their opinions, and they project their self-doubt because they haven't made, they never saw their passion through. So just because they haven't done it, they project their self-doubts on other people. But at the same time, they praise those they don't know, saying, oh, you got to look at Buddy. He's doing it. Oh, look at her. Man, she's doing it. But the person that is walking those footsteps and that's more than likely going to execute. But that's another thing too. Ego gets in the way. Upset that you guys come from the same cloth, the same area. You guys are cut from the same cloth, and it's like, well, I wasn't able to do it, so he's not going to be able to do it. Or she wasn't able to do it, so I wasn't able to do it, so she's not going to be able to do it. And that's the wrong mindset to have. Okay? You should be championing your people. I mean, what do you lose when they don't quote unquote make it? Nothing. You believe in them. You see, you actually look at their dreams and you say, hey, man, they're big, they're crazy, but go after it. And I'm a firm believer in, which is the honest to God truth, if your dream ain't astronomical and it doesn't seem like it's not going to another galaxy, then you're not dreaming big enough. You know what I mean? So, you have to say some really absurd stuff for people to be like, man, this dude is crazy. That's when you know that you're in the right direction of trying to achieve your dreams. But that process, man, there's no shortcut to it, And I know sometimes a part of that process, people get discouraged because they don't have the support system behind them that they should. And it sucks. It's unfortunate. But, this too shall pass. Just be dedicated to what you're doing. Because at the end of the day, if there's something that I know, right? I remember I ran the Atlanta Marathon. And, they do the half marathon the same time that we do the marathon, right? And it's funny because as you're running, you're running toward the start line, which is basically near the finish line for the half marathon runners. You see everybody cheering. Half marathoners are going in. They're happy. It's been about an hour and 45 minutes they've been running, and everybody's clapping and cheering. And then me, along with the other marathon runners, we got to take that right. Got to go through by State Farm Arena and all that other stuff. And what we think in our heads, damn, we still got 13 miles to go. And we just covered 13. And I think it was the most humbling experience for me, because when we took that turn, it was a lonely path. There was nobody on the route. Nobody was cheering. It's just you and your mind. Like, you're like, damn, I got to finish this. I can't believe this, you know? And it's a lonely road. And there's a whole lot of people who they'll do the half marathon. And I don't knock the half marathon. I love half marathons. I run in one every November in Atlanta. But, you know, the marathon, there's not a lot of people who run it. And you just see quite a few people, you know, taking the path, but it ain't a lot. And you think to yourself, man, I have no cheering section. You know, for the half marathon route, like the path is just packed out with people cheering, you know, and people feed off of that energy. But when you go and you finish the half marathon route to go to the marathon route to finish your next 13 miles, like I said, it gets pretty lonely. So with that being said, you have to, for me personally, I reach into my toolbox and I think to myself, I'm like, okay, I've done this before, and it's never easy. It's never easy. Trust what I tell you. But, you know, and I never underestimate a race, not even a 5K. And a 5K is a little bit over 3 miles. But something will always get you. So, you know, like I said, it's a mind game. It's you against you. But that's one of those things where it's just like, man, we got to keep going. So you're not always going to have a cheering section. You're not always going to have a crowd for you. But it's up to you and your discipline to do what needs to get done to move forward. So that's one thing I loved about making this song, because that's something that I try to preach about in the song, is about, you know, trusting the process. You know, people think you're a joke. It's okay. Just trust the process. You helpless and broke, trust the process. I'm telling you, do what you're supposed to do, and I guarantee you come on the other end, because there's people who don't put that stress on their lives early on so they can live the good life later on. They want it so nice and easy. They're like, oh, the hell with the process. I'm just going to chill back and just hang out. And then at the end of their years, as they're about to expire, they're living like crap. They can't move. They just, it's like they're almost in a fixed position like a damn tree. You know? So with that being said, always trust the process. Anyway, I think I went a little long here, but that was basically the mindset that, of course, not only with running, right? But that's where I was at with making this song. You know, it's just to encourage people to, no matter what's in your way, always trust the process. If you did what you had to do to prepare yourself, trust what I tell you. You're going to get to where you need to be. Okay? One way or the other. There's no way that you do so much work and then you don't get anything out of it. The only way you don't get anything out of something is if you don't put in the work at all. Okay? So, anywho, y'all take care. Godspeed. This is Rolo C. Appreciate you guys listening to the podcast, Rolo Runs the City podcast. Like I said, feel free to hit me up. RoloRunsTheCity.com. Check me out. Got several different things going on there, as well as Instagram at Rolo Runs the City Music, and at Rolo Runs the City Podcast. And do not forget to hit up Twitter at Rolo Runs the City. Shout me a holler, whether you want to say hello or tell me to go somewhere. It is what it is. But y'all take care. Godspeed. This is your man Rolo C, and I'm closing this one out right now. See you on the next one. Become the GOAT. Be the GOAT. Remember, never a sheep, and don't sleep on your dreams. Take care. Peace.
Feeling lost and don't know who to ask? Just vibe to my music and listen to the podcast.